Back in the day, if you couldn't sell your house, you would just put it on the rental market because that would get rented pretty quick. Well, houses are sitting right now, and your house is probably sitting right now too, just vacant. In this video, we're going to talk about that. What's going on, everybody? Pecan Lario here with Denise, Pompey, and Belinda, and we are RE Solutions XV. And welcome to another Tidbit Thursday.
Yeah.
And today we're going to be talking about why your property won't rent. Traditionally, if a person tries to put their house on the sales market and it doesn't sell during the summer months, during this time, they'll try to put it on the rental market and normally have a good outcome. There you go. Thank you. Have a good outcome of getting their house rented. But recently, houses have been sitting on the market quite a bit. We have houses right now that have been sitting on the market for 60 days or more, and we're not the only ones that have houses sitting on the market.
It's real unusual when you
Yeah.
price them just right for them to sit. However, it's not been the case necessarily this time around.
Yeah. Normally, if we price the property very well, they're gone within 2 weeks. And even in the winter months, because our peak seasons are usually April through August. And then after August and the kids are back in school, it starts slowing down. And then it really slows down in the October, November month, just because of the holidays coming up. But we still normally would get houses rented within a month. This year has been a little bit different. And we've had to change a lot of things because of it. So, and that's what we're going to discuss about.
Yeah, we're going to
today.
share the 5 things that we do to help you get your house rented.
Yeah.
The first one is definitely understanding the market. You need to understand what's going on in this specific area and the specific type of home that you have, because condos are going to be marketed differently than single family homes. We do know right now, currently in this market, that there's been a downturn. There's been kind of a market adjustment, if you will, from after the pandemic. Prices shot up really high and people were very excited. Now they're starting to realign and to come back down a little bit.
Come back down or even go lower than
Yeah.
traditionally.
You know, when I first started real estate, you could get a great 3-bedroom home for $1,500. And I think those days are gone for renters.
Yes.
So right now, our average rental rate, it was $1,900 in the summertime, and it has dipped down to the $1,800s. And that's for your kind of traditional 3-bedroom, 2-bath home in a decent neighborhood.
Yeah. So it's not crazy as far as the reductions in rent, but there's still a reduction.
Well, we're getting that client that bought during the pandemic, or right after the pandemic. At that point, they don't have a lot of equity. They can't sell. So as you guys have lived and referred to them as forced landlords, their mortgage rates are a little higher and they're getting frustrated because they're not going to break even with that. And unfortunately, that's kind of where our market is right now, between taxes and your mortgage rates. People can either go buy a home in that particular thing, or they'll rent something way more affordable.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's we're going to say this in a few of our videos. The market is correcting itself. So you kind of mentioned it. COVID happened, prices shot up. We saw it even in the rental market, and then interest rates started to go up, but prices didn't go down right away. So now people have pretty much COVID prices with slightly higher interest rates. And now it's correcting itself. And now we have mortgages that are high, but, rates, everything's going down now.
Yeah.
Even in sales and rentals.
And just like that pandemic era, we're seeing a little bit of supply and demand. There's a lot of supply right now for buyers and for renters. And the demand has decreased because of inflation. People are not as moving as readily as they would in the past because it's very expensive.
Yeah.
One thing that Pompey and I always tell owners too is, unfortunately, it doesn't matter what your mortgage rate is or what your mortgage payment is. It never correlates with what people are going to pay for rent. So those two markets are totally different. So a lot of owners obviously want to make up their mortgage payment uh, by getting at least that or more from rent. And 9 times out of 10, you may not get that at the beginning. So
So
it's just something
And
that,
even
of
in
course, landlords
I
need to
yeah.
be
and even in San
educated on.
Antonio, even traditionally, in a regular market, you're not going to get your mortgage on your rental. The only, I guess, landlords that do are the investors because they buy the house cheap. They have their numbers that they have to meet.
Mhm.
San Antonio is traditionally a very robust market. So, yeah.
And then people, if they could afford a mortgage for that type of home that they want to live in, they would do that.
Mhm.
That's why the rental market is so strong. Plus, we have a lot of transient
Yeah.
Right.
population in San Antonio.
So, step two, another strategy we have when you have a house on the market is to make sure that the property shows well.
Amen.
And we are seeing this in sales too. So everything that we're telling you is in the entire market right now.
It does mirror the sales market.
Yes. And so normally, when you have a rental, as long as you have it nice and clean, it usually rents well, rents quickly. However, people have so many choices right now. So I can go show a person 10 properties that are the same price range, similar, and the one that wins is the one that has been updated, has either new carpet or no carpet, had just a few more little upgrades that are normally rentals usually don't have.
Fresh paint.
Fresh paint. Yes.
Yeah, the biggest thing on this is the maintenance of the property, right? If somebody goes and looks at a property and it looks like it hasn't been maintained, they're going to think that either the property management company or the owner is just not wanting to maintain the property. So why would they rent it? Because that is one of the biggest complaints or concerns of a tenant is the maintenance of their property. If they submit a maintenance request, they want to know that it's going to be done. Like
Mhm.
cosmetic stuff, that's normally not done when a tenant is in there, but it should be done during the marketing phase of the property or the turnover phase. That way you attract those applicants into the property and actually get a tenant. If your property looks great, if it is updated, carpets are freshly cleaned or replaced, or there's no carpets at all, like Denise was saying, and the house just looks awesome at a good price, it's going to get rented pretty quick.
You usually get more than one person interested in it, and you can usually
Exactly.
get top dollar for what that market is calling for.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it looks great. So step three would be marketing it. So
Yeah.
how would you market?
So marketing of the property obviously needs to be comprehensive. A lot of property management companies or brokerages are going to go ahead and place the property on the regular MLS, which is the multiple listing service that all the realtors use. And that does push out to some syndicated sites out there. But of course, you want that property to be put out in all aspects or as many aspects on the internet as possible, because that's where most individuals are going to go look at the property, right? So you want it to be syndicated at all those major, and I'm not going to say the names, but you want them to be syndicated in all those major real estate sites, right? So not only the MLS, but those major real estate sites. You also want to make sure that you promote it in social media, because social media is a big thing right now. Not only just Facebook, because that's old for us older folks, but Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all those social medias need to be used in order to market this property. And of course, pictures have to be done correctly. They should be professional pictures, not pictures taken with your iPhone or your Android.
From a weird angle.
And a lot of agents do that, and some of them come out decent, but there's something different. Um, That's
About
the
a
word.
professional
Yeah, there's
photographer?
something different about having a professional photographer out there and actually, doing some minor editing to the picture. I'm not talking about, putting green grass and dirt patches. You want it to represent the property as it really looks like, but some minor editing as far as the lighting and stuff like that, so that the property looks good. Because if a person is looking at it on the internet and the pictures don't look good, they're just going to swipe right by it. It's kind of like
Kinda like
those
Tinder.
dating sites, right? Yeah. Just swipe
What?
by it. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
don't want that. So that's not what you want. You want the people to actually see the picture, say, "Oh, this place is awesome. I want to go look at it," and then schedule a showing
Mhm.
through whatever means that they're trying to schedule a showing. So
As well as offering something like Show Mojo.
Mhm.
Yeah.
yes. So Show Mojo for us is a self-touring platform in which individuals that are interested in properties can actually go to the property and visit the property or do their own showing of the property without having an agent there. Um, I, I've been doing this for 14 years now, and when this platform first started, and there's several, I was kind of against it because I was scared of these individuals going into the properties and damaging the properties, stealing from the properties, or whatever, just moving in basically. But within these 14 years, so many companies are using these self-showing sites and with very minimal um
Issues or
Negative,
yeah,
concerns.
yeah.
there you go.
Because AI is
Yeah,
taking over the world, but it's also
basically.
taking over real estate. And it's helping tremendously be able to delineate the differences between just a fake ID
Yeah.
and a good ID. And
So these sites vet these requests before they actually give out codes, and then the codes are specific for that time frame. Most of them are one-time codes as well. So if a person can get in there one time and then they return the key after that, they can't just turn around and try to get into the property again and stuff like that.
And
So
we get notifications when the person arrives
yeah,
and I think when they leave, correct?
Sounds like we could do a
yeah,
whole Tidbit Thursday on
yeah.
showing properties.
Yes.
And basically, it's the convenience for the individual. They don't have to wait for an agent to come and show them the property, right? They can be sitting in front of the property and like it and say, "Hey, I want to go tour this property." They just get on the app and submit all their documentation, and within an hour, they can be approved or denied, depending on what information comes back. So,
awesome. So step number 4 would be offering move-in incentives.
oh,
So
that's a big one
that's a big one right now,
coming
right?
up.
So a lot of individuals or apartments, I should say, a lot of apartments are offering major move-in discounts.
Mhm.
We have an apartment complex just right down the street that's offering 8 weeks. You heard that correct.
Wow.
8 weeks, 2 months free with a 15-month move-in. Now people might say, but I've got a 4 bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2,500 square foot home, Pompey. What does my house have to do with an apartment? It has to do with money and the idea that not everybody makes a lot of money.
Mhm.
And if somebody knows that they can get 2 months free versus having to pay a full rate for your property, they might opt instead to go for the apartment.
Mhm.
So,
Well,
with inflation being as it is right now, you definitely want to be able to compete with move-in incentives and make your one property stand out above everyone else's.
This
Um,
is crazy to me because we've never like apartment complexes were the ones that did incentives, right? That and storage units, right? Do
One
incentives.
dollar.
Yeah, exactly. But now it's single family homes, and it's
yes.
nationwide. It's not just here in San Antonio or in Texas. This is nationwide that individuals are having to offer these incentives in order to uh, attract
Attract.
individuals to come and rent their property.
It's all about they have choice. I mean, I'll say it over and over again. They have choices right now. And they still prefer to have a single family home, believe me,
Oh yeah.
because we hear it all the time. They're like, "Oh, I want a yard. I have a dog and, I have two kids." But
I prefer a Maserati, but my Chevy is still way more expensive.
yeah,
So it doesn't matter what you prefer versus.
but I mean, inflation is real and people are like, "Well, I guess I'm gonna have to have that apartment that's gonna give me the 2 months and versus that nice 3-2 because I need to have that Starbucks every day.
Right. Like Pete said,
people are
Yeah.
waiting. People are waiting for 2025 to see what changes too. So,
Yes, yes.
but like
So-
Pete had referenced, next to nothing as far as single family homes. And now, statistically speaking, over 40% of single family homes on the market, at least in San Antonio, are offering
Some
move-in,
type
some
of
kind of
some kind of
Yeah.
move-in incentive right now for that property. And we're not talking about a little $25, $25 off a week or your first month or something like that. The average right now is 1 month free.
Mhm. So
That's crazy.
now we go to step number 5, which is, don't know if it's the most important step, but
It's always an important step. Even before this was always
Yes,
been important.
yes, but it's really important now to rent out your property is to offer an aggressive rental rate. So we do get a lot of owners that will say, well, can we try $200 more? This is not the market for it.
It's not the time.
And we at RE Solutions, we're always going to be honest with you. We deal with this day in and day out. We talk to owners on a daily basis and they start really high. And 2, 3 months later, they're like, but why? Because you have to you have to listen to the market. The market is saying that people are not moving or they have choices. This is not forever. This is right now. This is this market. In a year or two, you can see those increases.
Yeah.
Um,
This goes back to that just the mortgage.
Yeah.
Again, most owners, and the way we put it is those forced landlords, the individuals that can't sell and they have to leave and they have to put it on the rental market.
mhm,
Those individuals, they want to cover their whole mortgage amount, and we get it.
mhm,
We have rentals ourselves,
mhm.
and our rentals, when we first started renting them out, we still had to come out of pocket 200, 300, $400
Yeah,
Mhm.
every month in order to cover the whole mortgage.
yeah.
Unfortunately, that's going to be probably 90% of the individuals right now until the rent increases in San Antonio.
And I know in the past, we've always been kind of real like, hey, if you want to try it, let's try it.
Mhm.
Like Denise said, this is not the market to do it because your
Yeah.
market sits there, it becomes stigmatized. And then there's algorithms on those rental platforms, and they won't show your home the same way as when it was brand new.
Exactly.
And
Just
then
like
you
social media.
Yeah.
and then you get upset with us because how come it's still on the market? Well, we told you.
So Pompey is really good at. So when we do a comparative market analysis on a property, he gives the owner 3 options. He gives them the high, mid, and low. And of course, um, the high is whatever has rented on at the property, and we can try for the high. But sometimes owners want to try higher than the high, and that makes the property just sit there longer. So one good question that Belinda always has is, do you want to get this house rented quickly, or do you want to get it rented for the highest amount? Because they're 2 different
Yeah.
things.
What's your goal?
Yeah.
What's your goal? I love
to
that.
go. So
Yeah, I've started using that too. What's your goal? So,
Those are the 5 major steps, but there's 2 final points we want to bring to your attention.
Yeah. One of them is don't wait for the rebound. It is going to happen, but the experts are projecting it to be a couple years down the road. So go ahead and start implementing these things now, and you will be successful.
Last final point is consider segmented rental markets within San Antonio. By that, what I mean is San Antonio has various little compartments throughout. It has a condo, it has townhome segments, it has small homes that are 1, 2-bedroom homes, and then it has your regular single family homes, which are your traditional 3-2, 4.2.5s, etc.
you
Right?
can break that down even more into older homes, like
Mm.
newer.
downtown, newer homes, subdivisions. which are outside of city limits and stuff like that.
So when you consider all these little segmented areas within San Antonio, some of those little areas might not be as rental worthy as they once were at one given point in time. So what you might want to do is reach out to us and we can do a CMA for that specific area. And potentially you might want to sell that unit and take that money and put it into a more marketable segment.
Yeah.
That's something that Denise and Belinda can assist you with greatly. They'll take that property, that little condo that you may have, or that little townhome, run a CMA on it, get you what those sales rates might go for it, and then you can look at taking that money that you make from that property and then put it into something that you know is renting out, and potentially make money off of that in that direction at least.
And that's
Yeah.
very important because we're seeing a lot of out-of-towners come and buy in these newer communities, and we're just like,
It's become saturated.
yes. And so you have, I mean, brand new community, beautiful little homes, but
Nobody.
everything is on the
rental.
market for rent.
Yeah.
Yes. And so you want a good, you want somebody that's going to tell you what, the market, do that market analysis, show you that data, and, understand the rental market, which our team does.
Yes.
Outstanding.
So that actually brings up a different point that we at RU Solutions actually like to work with the investors or any individuals that want to purchase properties here in San Antonio, and we just want to help. So even if you have your own realtor, obviously we would love you to use our
team.
sales team.
But we're not
even if-
poaching anybody.
No,
Right.
exactly. Even if you have your own realtor, you may want to reach out to maybe us or another property management company and ask them before you actually purchase a property as a rental. Ask them for CMA. Ask them for what the rental analysis is in that area that you're looking at, or the area that your realtor is showing you, because there are some areas that are going to sit. We have a few owners right now that have purchased and remodeled homes in areas that could have been a little bit better, and either the house sat for a long time or one is still sitting there waiting. So, you can reach out to us and we can try to help you as much as we can with giving you the information. Once again, if you want to use our sales team, that is great. If you just have your own real estate agent, you can still reach out to us. We have no problem with that.
And you can ask your agent, like, hey, do you have a great property management company? And will they help us walk through the property and tell us what they think? And that would be, if you are a realtor, use your property managers, because they can, you do a market analysis, but we do a market analysis, and then we can let you know, like, hey, this is what we're seeing in the area. We kind of know things that a regular agent that just not
Right.
just does sales, but
Right.
that concentrates on sales may not know.
We've had quite a few owners get upset at their realtors because of them not being able to rent out their property because of the areas that the realtors have helped them.
We've also helped a lot of real estate agents save a sale
Yes.
because they reached out to us and we got them a rental analysis and they were able to back out of a deal and get into a better deal in a better property that would rent.
Yeah.
And they were able to save the relationship with their buyer. And then, and we, once again, we don't poach. We're just here to help.
Yeah. So you use the expertise, use it. That's what we're here for. We want to help.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
that is why those
The
are
five
the
things that
five
we're gonna
things.
do.
The five
Which-
things that we do for
Sounded like 20, but it was only 5.
5 with some subpoints. So anyway, that's why houses are sitting on the rental market right now, and how we can help get them rented a little faster. But of course, we can't do it on our own. We need the owner's help.
Yes.
They need to have the buy-in and help. Not the buy-in. What's it called?
It's called a buy.
The buy-in. The
Support?
buy-in.
We need their support, maybe.
Yeah, I guess.
They need to be educated.
I guess.
So these were the 5 steps here at RE Solutions that we can do in helping you figure out why your property isn't renting. And we look forward to next time.